Michael Bidwill does it again, this time in wildly ridiculous fashion. Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
On Cardinals. Why do we have to keep doing this? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being everydayers. This is your first listen to Locked On Cardinals. Thank you. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Another jam show today. Got crossover Thursday with Locked On Colts tomorrow. And then a full breakdown of the game. Let's see what happens this Sunday. That's just going to be the theme moving forward. The offensive play calling was glossed over again. When Drew Petzing spoke to the media. I don't know if they're just trolling the media and everybody, or if they've got clamps on from Michael Bidwill to say, yeah, don't say anything, or if they're truly lost. And I don't think that there's like one definitive answer. It's expected, and it's still mind-blowing, and I'll go more in depth about it. But Michael Bidwill does it again. For those that missed it, Michael Bidwill fined Jonathan Gannon $100,000 for his interaction with Emari Demercado after Emari Demercado dropped the ball before crossing the goal line. So let's take the human side first. First off, Emari Demercado didn't do something where he would like blatantly ran up to opposing quarterback and took his cleats and started hitting him with it. Like, it wasn't something so egregious that it's never been seen before, and it's like offensive and you deserve to be suspended for it or something like that. I know that's a ridiculous like example, but it wasn't something like egregious to where, oh, maybe you're not a good person for doing that. Okay, that's one. Two, it 100% didn't cost the Cardinals the game. Like, it wasn't the reason for it. They weren't down 2 points with 0 time remaining, and he ran it all the way to the end zone and then dropped it before he walked across into pay dirt. Okay, the Cardinals should have 100% won that game, regardless of if that was a touchdown or not. Okay, so those are just factual. When it comes to the altercation, this happens from middle school football. I remember my middle school flag football coach ripped me for, I can't remember what it was, dropping an interception or I can't remember what it was, but it was like, it wasn't, it made me cry or anything, but it was like, this happens. This is what football coaches do. Like, what are we doing here? Okay, well, what about the slap? He hit him in the stomach where he's padded. It's like, dude, come on. Like, what's the difference between that and hitting somebody on the helmet? But that's not even the biggest issue. And it's not an issue. And I'm sure Jonathan Gannon hugged the bleep out of him when he got into the locker room. Michael Bidwill had to make it about himself. So let's talk about the opposite of that. Could the NFL have fined Jonathan Gannon? Yeah, but they wouldn't have. This isn't like, oh, Michael Bidwill saved it. He kept it in-house. No. Michael Bidwill made this about himself. Michael Bidwill, like he always does, makes this about himself. So he took what was a teaching moment, not only for Emari Demercado, but for Jonathan Gannon as a coach. He said he apologized to him after, which of course he's going to. This isn't so why do it in the first place? It's because it had to happen. That's what happens when you mess up on a football field. So now Michael Bidwill, he goes, don't worry, guys, I got this. Don't worry, guys, I know what I'm doing. 6 figures. That's going to make things better. That's not going to drive a wedge. That's not going to have this become a national story when people would have forgot about it 10 minutes later because of the 24/7 news cycle, the world in which we live now. But no. I got it. I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm going to come down from my ivory post, and I'm going to slap a fine on a head coach that doesn't deserve it. But because I'm a good owner, because I know what the hell I'm doing, look at all the rings, look at all the championships, I'm going to be the bigger man, even though I can't reach the top shelf. I'm going to be the bigger person, even though I have ongoing litigation and allegations surrounding my workplace misconduct. I'll be the bigger guy here. I'll be the rational one. Fine. The ineptitude and out of this world of rational thought thinking that Michael Bidwill has in important situations is the reason why the Cardinals are most likely to never win anything. And I think that's pretty obvious, and I think that's kind of it's what it's been with the Bidwill name. And just when you think that it's gone away, it rears its ugly head again. Just when you think he'll just stay up in his tower and leave everybody the hell alone, he has to make it about himself. This is an egomania-driven move by a guy who doesn't know what to do when important things need to get done. And that's all this is. This isn't about doing the right thing. This isn't about reprimanding a head coach who got heated on a sideline with a player who messed up royally. This isn't about protecting a player. He doesn't give a crap. This is about making him look good. This is about protecting his bottom line, which is sinking because all these new casitas. See, here's the thing. Cardinals would have won at least one Super Bowl if he called them flipping cardcitas like he's supposed to. The Casa Roja, blah, 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 all this food. Nobody's sitting in the damn seats, Mike. Never called him Mike before. Normally you use the full name when you want to reprimand somebody, not the shortened version. Woo, give me chills. This was a much ado about nothing situation between a coach and a player that is far from an original story. And Michael Bidwill had to make it about himself. He had to be magnanimous and throw his weight around. Look at all my rings, guys. Look at all my championships. Look at all the things that I've done well as an owner. Let's just add this to the mantelpiece. I did the right thing. I was the bigger person. What this could do is fracture a locker room. Not entirely. I'm not getting, Les Miserables here. I'm not getting like, oh, woe is them. They went through something that a team has never gone through. No, but it's not great. It's not great. And while this will blow over, because everything does in sports, I mean, things like this, because of the news cycle, it's just another thing that will make the Cardinals a laughingstock. I tweeted this out. This is the homework rule version of a fine. And Michael Bidwill's name is all over it. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. The offensive play calling gets glossed over again in a presser. What a surprise. I'll discuss it next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by FanDuel. Week 6, man. Appreciate football. We're almost a third of the way through. FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss, so appreciate this too. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I'm seeing on Twitter, I just see like screenshots of like it's one of those, it's the Millie Maker. It's like, oh, I'm not going to work tomorrow, honey, if I hit this. It's like 3 first touchdown scores parlayed. And, it's tens of thousands of dollars, whatever. It's insane. So, like, say you're a new player and you sign up and you bet $5 and you win that bet. You get $300 in bonus bets to do whatever the hell you want with. It's amazing. So, what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Go do it. Yeah. So, not great. Not great for Michael Bidwill. Jake Arthur, Locked On Colts tomorrow, crossover. It's going to be fun. I'm terrified about that game. I don't really want to discuss it yet. I don't think it's constructive to discuss that. It's still fixable. I'll talk about it in the next segment. I alluded to it a little bit before. I know I said I was going to talk about the defense today, which I'll do in the final segment. But the Michael Bidwill thing, sometimes you got to change things. Drew Petzing and Jonathan Gannon both said they didn't like the play call on 3rd and 8, where they ran the ball up the gut, surprise, surprise, with 2 minutes and 12 seconds, instead of putting the ball in Kyler Murray's hands. When asked, did Kyler have a check where he could check out of that play? They said no. Oh, cool. So let's just get around the campfire here, hold hands, and let's just ask the question. So if Jonathan Gannon didn't like the play call and Drew Petzing didn't like play call, and just for people who don't remember, Drew Petzing calls the plays. So if Drew Petzing didn't like the play call and Kyler Murray was unable to do anything besides downside hike, turn handoff, what are we doing here? What's the play? Oh, I didn't like the play call. Oh, I didn't like the play call. Oh, I didn't like the play call. Do you guys communicate? Well, it's a timing thing. Do you guys practice 2-minute drill? Do you guys have any wherewithal to maybe check out of a play if everybody and their mother and their cousins know you're going to run the ball because your sissy offense always does that? Maybe give the quarterback a check out. Maybe have a contingency plan. Oh, hey, maybe call a timeout. Instead of just hoping that the opposing team decides to just, take an Ambien and I'll take naps for the last 2 minutes of the game so the Cardinals can run the clock out. It's becoming a thing where it was kind of like, well, at least they got the win in week 1. Oh, well, at least they got the win in week 2. Well, you know what? The defense played really well in week 3. It was kind of stinky the way they lost. Oh, well, Seattle's a good team. And the Cardinals, they came back and Marv had the catch to Chernobyl. Like, I don't know. I've been very calm with all of this stuff. And I think there's a world where there's a rational world where that's the way to, discuss these things, because you're starting to see incremental growth. We saw this whole offseason, even though the offense wasn't touched, and we've seen it. We've seen a different brand, an elevated brand of football defensively. And then you see these flashes, good teams against bad teams, where the offense just hums. And then what we're seeing significantly at this point, more, irrespective of opponent, significantly more frequently than the competency, is the grave incompetency of an offense. Like bottom 2 grave incompetency of an offense. And it's something that it's something that is very, very, it's not even off-putting. It's like, do you guys know how bad you look? And you don't change anything? And then you say you didn't like how things were run? And then you don't change anything? And then you look worse? And then you say you don't like how things are run? And then you don't change anything? Do you see where I'm going with this? So, listen, I know that was like a Broadway production there, but I mean, that's kind of where we're at. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. The extreme conservative nature when all you need is 2 first downs just blows my mind. Nobody, like, this is where we're at. Nobody would get mad at them for throwing the ball on 2nd and 3rd down. It's like, oh, well, why don't you run the ball? Nobody's going to say that. That's the point that we're at now, watching this team. That's why I say, if you make a mistake, make them big. Not, the Laurel and Hardy Three Stooges routine with not being able to pick the ball up after David Taylor Damerson intercepted it. But, like, just throw on all 3 downs. I don't care. It's like, well, why are you not running the ball? Nobody's going to say that. What the offense should do is the exact opposite of what they've done up until this point. Let's just do that as a rule. Do the exact opposite. 10 plus targets for Trey, 10 plus. Marv had 4 for 98. You're looking at so there was a it wasn't mine, so I can't put it up, but there was an image going around of the list of Ohio State wide receivers from this past weekend. Marv had by far the fewest amount of targets and catches. Jackson Smith and Jigba and Emeka Ibuka. Even Chris Olave had more catches, less yards. But it's like, we used to say this when DeAndre Hopkins was here. Why would you buy a Lamborghini and put it in first gear? Now, sure, this is a Kyler problem too. Okay. The clock is now ticking at triple speed. But the fact that every presser is like, oh, we got to be better. Oh, we got to be better. Oh, we got to improve. Oh, yeah, we got to be better. Oh, I got to be better. Oh, we got to be better. Yeah, you do. A year ago. Oh, didn't really like the play call. Oh, didn't really like the play call. Did Kyler have a check? No. Is somebody holding a gun to your head proverbially and making you call these plays? Is there an alien overlord that has sucked the brains out of your ears and forcing you to call an inside handoff on 3rd and 8 when you need a first down to win the game? No? No? What? I wish that wasn't insane to say. I mean, it is insane to say. Okay, there's no aliens. But what are we doing here? Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. It's still fixable. I'll bet you didn't see that coming. I'll talk about that next. We roll on here. I'm going to pop in my friend, Cody Rourke.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs. With features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance, you can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So, let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Yeah. It's all fixable still. Surprise! Really quick about the defense. They're averaging 19 points given up a game. And the Cardinals are 2-3. The only kind of rational way to look at this is, the defense will save us. The defense got it. Defense are made of human beings who get tired. And they can't always play at peak performance when they're forced to save every single game. So with all that said, it can be fixed. Okay. Michael Carter and Amari DiMercato, Zonovan Knight isn't ideal, okay, but they were pretty efficient last week. Both of them, two or three of them got in the end zone, and would have been 3. Kyler Murray got in the end zone on a bootleg that looked kind of like a real option on that play, if not the main play call. I know players were running routes, so but I know Tennessee's defense isn't fantastic, but they held Houston to 6 points the week before the explosion. So I just really think just do the opposite of what you're doing now. Just throw the book at it. Like, legitimately, and I said this last week, but this is a legitimate statement. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? What you're doing now isn't working. Instead of saying, yeah, we've got to get Marv more looks. Do it. Do it. I don't care if he catches 5 wide receiver screens on Sunday as part of it. Get him the ball. 2 games ago, we caught the wide receiver screen, first play, first down. Interesting. They've got big receivers. They've got big tight ends who can block. Bunch it to the left, get Marv behind the line, throw him the ball, and then have these guys block for him. Like, this isn't, I don't know why we're having this conversation still. Get Trey McBride the ball. Do the same thing for Trey McBride. That's the only instance where I'm like, yeah, dude, throw it around the line of scrimmage. Other than that, throw it down the field, man. Like, throw it down the field. I'm not saying go routes only. Every other NFL offense does it. And the Cardinals are playing like they're playing. It looks like they're playing with like 30% of the football field that everybody else is playing with. And we've had these same conversations. I know. Like, I do this every day. I know how much of a broken record I sound like right now. But this is where we're at. The defense is giving up 19 points per game. They haven't been healthy pretty much since what? Since week 2 when Garrett Williams went down. Max Melton got hurt. Max Melton didn't play last week. Will Johnson's back. Will Johnson didn't play. Like, Darius Robinson and Bijay Ojulari is not back. And, you know, the defense is giving up 19 points per game. That is masterclass stuff. And like 18 of them, 19 of them, like the fourth quarter scoring, if you cut the fourth quarter scoring in half, they'd be leading the league in points against. Points. Yeah. Points against. So this is another thing that I want to talk about. I'm going to pivot. It's so fixable. We talked about this yesterday. Throw the ball to Marv. Throw the ball to Trey. More. 3 times more. 10 targets each. Here on out. So this is something that I haven't failed you with, but it hasn't been talked about enough. What about the defensive woes in the fourth quarter of games? Okay, and I think especially final drives of games. San Francisco, the Carolina circus that happened in the fourth quarter, a lot of that was penalty induced. A really bad roughing the passer call on Josh Sweat, I think, with the body weight leverage on the only quarterback that's smaller than Kyler Murray in the NFL. And then Tennessee this past week with 2 just dimes, absolute dimes from Cam Ward with wide receiver streaking down the field. I still think, and with a lot of, evidence to back it up, that the pass rush is just gassed at that point. I think that's where it all starts. And they are gassed at that point because they're good for the first 2.5 quarters, and then the offense forgets how to play offense in the NFL, and then they're on the field a lot. So when you look at time of possession, it skyrockets for the defense during the last 20 minutes of games. When the offense is efficient and the offense is, yielding sustained drives that end in points, end in touchdowns, defense rests early on in games. Defense is not as tired because the game hasn't started yet. And that's science. At the end of games, they're on the field a lot, okay? Pass rushers get gassed when you have to rush the passer 30, 40 times a game. And the game scripts have been so wonky for the Cardinals that it's something that, is just – that sounds like I'm blaming game script. I'm not, but the Cardinals have been up at least a score in 4 or 5 games going into the fourth quarter. So the San Francisco game, the defense did everything they could. They had a safety that put the Cardinals up but with 2 minutes left. And then the offense did nothing. And the defense had to come on the field again, and Mac Jones led a great drive. This isn't like that was more of a prevent defense. The Carolina game was a prevent defense. They're just waiting for the clock to run out, which in a rational world, that makes sense. You would expect the offense to do something to counteract that. To be able to get a couple first downs so the defense didn't have to be on the field for the entirety of the fourth quarter, it seemed. So while I understand the pushback on the defense, especially in fourth quarters of games, that's not looking at the entire picture of the game. You still got to put it on the offense for making the defense do what they have been tasked to do in the second half of games this year. Figure out the offense. This team's a playoff team. It's just crazy. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Crossover Thursday tomorrow with Jake Arthur from Locked On Colts. Remember, without you, there is no me. Oh, squad show tonight, 6 o'clock. Talk to you then.